So you have permission to record as well, so you can record from them.
Okay.
V'yomer, and he said to him, Ma asita. So ma, what does ma mean?
What?
Absolutely. And what about asa? Ayin sin hey.
Asa, is it like a maker? No.
Good, good. It means to make or do. It's the
Ah.
vaguest verb in the Hebrew
Uh-huh.
language. It's the just
Right,
just
right,
to
right.
do something or to make something, right?
Okay.
But if we take
Huh.
that verb
Ah.
and we put t on the end, a ct, whenever we put t on the end of a verb, which is taf yod on the end, it means I did it in the past,
Ah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
in the case of v'yomer, we put a yod on the beginning. That yod tells you who's doing the verb, so it makes it a future tense verb, right?
Uh-huh.
But if we put a letter at the end of the verb, it makes it a past tense verb, okay? So a ct is I did. What's a cita?
She did.
Not she.
Oh no. Not I.
A ct is I, first
I.
person. A cita or a seat is
You?
the good. Yes, it's the you, the second person. So if you is a feminine character, the person you're talking to is a feminine character, that's a seat. And if it's you masculine, a cita. Just like a ta, a cita, you did. At a seat, you did feminine. Okay? So in this case, it's a cita, you masculine. God is talking to Kain and saying, Ma asita, what did you do? You happy?
Yes, happy. Yeah.
He expands on that by saying, Kol damei achicha, tzoakim alai. And this is a heartbreaking phrase. This is really important, actually. So, the word kol with a kuf vav lamed, kol is voice. Okay? What's dam? Do you know what dam is?
Gam.
Yeah.
We learned this one. Gam.
Yeah, this word is important to Adam,
Oh.
Adom, and Adamah.
Oh.
Adam is called Adamah in part because Adam is called Adam in part because he's made from the Adamah. The person is made from the ground. But also the ground in Israel, the earth in Israel, has a kind of reddish orange hue.
Oh.
So Adom, the color red, comes from Adamah. So because the earth is red, the color red has a similar name. They're all related. And dam is also red, and dam is blood. Okay? So Adam is made from Adamah, from the ground. It has dam, has blood, and they're all red. Right?
Yeah.
So this is dameh. Dalet mem, there's a yod and a tzere. Do you remember what it means when you have a yod and a tzere as a suffix at the end of a word?
No.
Only when you have both a yod and a tzere, as an ending, it means of.
Yeah.
So dameh is the blood of achika. Who's achi?
Brother.
Good. Achiko?
Your brother.
Good. So kol dameh achika means what? Kol dameh achika.
The voice of the blood of your brother.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. So when God comes to him after he's saying, "Where's your brother?" He says, "I don't know. What am I? My brother's keeper?" Like, and God's reply is, "What did you do? Ma'asita. Kol damei achicha, the voice of the blood of your brother, tzoakim, screams alai to me, min ha'adamah, from the ground." It's a very dramatic way of speaking. So the blood of the victim screams to God. I want to show you this word in the Torah, okay? So I'm going to take off the im ending because that's the plural. I'm just going to take the tzadi ayin kuf, and I'm going to take off the vowels because it's going to give us more instances of the thing, because you can have the same word with different vowels depending on the grammar of the situation. Oh, hang on, sorry. Just trying to get rid of that final chirik off the. There we go. So now I'm going to search Tzadi Ayin Kuf, and if we just go to the Tanakh, I have 71 instances of that word to scream. I'm going to put it in chronological order, and the first one we'll get is this one here, Genesis chapter 4, verse 10. V'yomer ma'asita kol demei achika tzoekim alai min ha'adamah. The next time it comes up is in Genesis 18, verse 21. And this is, then God said, the outrage of Sodom and Gomorrah is so great that and their sin is so grave. Eradeh, I will descend, na, please, va'ereh, and I will see, katsoa kata, that the outrage, the screaming, hava alai, that came to me, asu kala, if they have done, ve'im lo ada, and if not, I will know about it, right? So here we actually have two different versions. We have this version of the verb, which is tzadi ayin kuf. That's the one we're looking for. But in the previous in the previous verse, we have a slightly different version, which is zayin ayin kuf, and this is the word which means outrage. So two very similar words. Oh dear, I keep on doing that. Sorry, two very similar words. And their meaning is outcry, cry of distress, a clamour of outcry, and here it means a cry, an outcry, a cry of distress. So they're almost identical in the meaning, but they're spelt in two different ways. So there's two ways of saying this outrage. So if we take this one, the first one with the tzadi has 71 instances in the Torah, and this one here has 90 instances just in the Torah, right? So it comes up a lot, and it's particularly associated with injustice and suffering and something which must not be tolerated. It's also what God hears from the Israelites when they're being held as captives by Egypt, and they're being forced into hard labor, and they're in slavery effectively. And when they call out to God because of their suffering, this is the word that God uses when addressing Moshe. It says, "The scream of the Israelites has come to me." So it's a devastating word, very intense word. And he's saying that the scream of you. So the first time we get introduced to this word is concerning the blood of a murder victim.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, God's called him out twice. He said, "Where's your brother?" And then he says, "Listen, the blood of your brother screams out to me the grave." What do you think? Is Kain going to turn himself around and admit his faults? Is he going to recognize his? That's the problem with Kain. And this has been the problem with Kain from the beginning. Is that the issue wasn't that God just didn't accept his thing because he didn't like vegetables. He didn't accept his sacrifice. He didn't accept his sacrifice because he knew he had to have a talk with Kain about this desire to blame everyone else. You know, I'm the victim, it's his fault, it's everyone else's fault, and even when he does something wrong and he gets caught in the act, still, it's not me, why are you blaming me? He won't recognise his own power in the scenario. He's making out that he's weak and a victim, and everyone else is the fault. And then things get worse, things get darker. When God calls him out directly, it says va'atah, and now arur atah, cursed are you. Notice how these two words, atah and atah, they sound the same, right? What's the difference between the two words highlighted in yellow? Can you spot the difference?
One starts with ayin and one is aleph.
Bingo, that's exactly it. So these are homophones, they sound the same, but they have two different meanings. So atah with an ayin means now, and atah with an aleph means you. Second person, masculine singular. Right?
Oh, okay.
Okay?
The ayin is what again?
Ayin means now. Atah with an ayin is now. And when they come up like this, I'll highlight them in yellow just to draw the attention. You're going to see atah with an aleph a lot more often than atah with an ayin. So that one you'll recognise very quickly, very soon. With the ayin, I'll highlight it yellow just to make sure you notice this is not spelt how it normally is, and that'll help. Okay? But arur is cursed. Now, in the last story, the story of this man's father and his mother, realizing that they were naked, coming into self-awareness, coming into sexual maturity, starting families, were either of them cursed?
No.
Right. She was told she was going to have babies and it was going to be tough, but the word cursed was never used. The snake was cursed, and he was lowered down to the ground because the Yetzer Hara was weakened so that it could not do so much damage to humankind after that. The word Arur was used in conjunction to Adam, but Adam himself was not cursed. What was cursed?
The land.
Yes. So effectively it was like saying, well, you're coming from Gan Eden, where everything is ready and edible and perfect. Now you're going to have to go out and work. So it's like going from a blessed place to a cursed place. It's going to be tough. But he himself was not cursed. But it says, Ata, Arurata, now you are cursed, min ha'adama, from the ground. So in the case of Adam, the ground was cursed from Adam. But in the case of Cain, Cain's cursed from the ground. That's very different, right? In the case of Adam, Adam had to work a bit harder, but eventually the ground would yield good food. It would yield bread. But in this case, it says, Vata arurata min ha'adama, now you are cursed from the ground. Asher patzta et piha. This is a really unusual thing. Sometimes, just like we had tza'ak with a tzadi and za'ak with a zayin, they were very similar words. They were spelt similar, they sounded similar, and they had very similar meanings. Right? So this is a verb to open. But, yes, you are right. Patach, pei, taf, chet. This is actually quite different. This is pei, tzadi, hey. Which is very different from patach. This is patzah. And so this is particularly about opening the mouth, right? Opening the eyes or the ears or the mouth. So it's not, when you open your eyes, you're not really opening. Do you remember pakach? Pakach was about opening the eyes and ears in terms of perception. Well, patzah is about opening the mouth particularly. It's not really opening it like opening a door. It's the mouth is always there. You're just, you're changing its arrangement. So, there's one more thing. Why has this got 4 letters?
Oh. The hay is extra.
That's good thinking. Actually, it's not. This is one of those rare cases where the taf is extra because the root has a hay. So if you want to make it feminine, you can't add a hay on a hay. Remember that idea? So we add an taf before the hay. So that's what's happening here. Is who's doing this verb is feminine. So instead we can't add a hay, so we add a taf. So it's ha'adama. See how the adama is who's doing it? It's got a hay on the end already, right? Ha'adama asher patzta, the ground that she opened, et piha, right? Now, parts of the body. Rosh, katafi'im, birkaim, behonot. That's head, shoulders, knees and toes, right? Rosh, katafi'im, birkaim, behonot, ve'ainayim, ve'aznayim, ve'af, ve'pei. Eyes, ears, nose and mouth. Pei is the mouth, okay? In fact, the letter pei is named after the mouth, and it's supposed to be a little picture of a mouth. That's supposed to be the little nose there, and that's the mouth underneath, right? So, piha, what does that mean, piha? If pei means mouth, what does piha mean? Why has the Torah added a hay on the end of P to make piha?
The feminine mouth.
Yes, the feminine possessive. This means her mouth. So ha'adama, the ground, asher patzta et piha, that she opened her mouth. Lekach et damei achicha. Now, actually, this lamed shouldn't be blue because it's not really an infinitive. The root of kach is actually lakach. strangely, because lamed is not a weak letter. It really shouldn't go missing by all rights. But it's, for some reason it does go missing. We'll just accept that. So lakach is to take. What's lakach? Lakach at. Who took?
Le is two.
No, the lamed is part of the roots.
Oh, it's part of the root. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
right.
That's why I said you can't have it in blue, because it's not
Oh,
really
I
an
see, I
infinitive.
see.
It's actually part of the root. So lakach is to take. But if we have lakachat, what gender is the person who took?
Female.
Yes, because there's two ways to feminize a verb. You can add a hey or a taf. Just like you can turn the word ish, which means man, you can turn it into isha, which means woman, or eshet, which means woman. Right? So you can add a hey or a taf. In this case, she opened her mouth to take et damei achicha. What does damei achicha mean?
Me.
Yeah, what's dam?
Blood.
Good. And what about damei with the yod on it, seirei?
Oh, just now you said.
Haha.
Of.
Yes, the blood of achicha.
Brother.
Yes, achicha.
Your brother.
Beautiful. And now, she opened her mouth to take the blood of your brother, miyadecha.
From
Yes.
Miyadecha.
What's ka at the end mean?
Your.
From your yad.
Yet.
Can you show me your yad?
Oh, is it the hand?
It is the hand. Miyadecha means what? Tell me the whole thing, miyadecha.
From your hand.
Perfect. So now,
Oh.
ata, now, arurata, you are cursed, min ha'adama, from the ground, asher patsta et piha, that she opened her mouth, lakachat, to take, et damei achicha, to take the blood of your brother, miyadecha, from your hand.
Oh.
Does it make sense?
Wait, not really. Wait, that means God is saying to him.
God is saying
Cain.
to Kain, Kain is cursed, you are cursed, Kain, from the ground, that she opened her mouth to take the blood of your brother from your hands.
From your hand means Cain's hand.
Because the blood of Hevel, the blood of Abel, was on the hands of Cain.
Cain's hand. Oh, okay, right.
So the
right,
earth, he buried the blood. He buried the Hevel and his blood, and so the earth opened up to absorb the blood of. But God could still hear the blood of Cain, blood of Hevel, screaming to him.
Yeah. I understand now.
Beautiful. Okay, so that got pretty dark,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ki
Because
ta'avod. What's an eved?
serve.
Yes. So what about ta'avod with a taf in the beginning?
Something server.
So what does it mean if you put a yod at the beginning of a verb? Who does it tell you is doing that?
He.
Yes. What about a taf?
She.
Good. She or?
You.
Good. So ta'avod means?
She or you. You.
Good. Why is it you? Why is it must be you in this scenario?
Because she doesn't apply.
Yeah, there's no she in this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only God and Kain. So when he says ta'avod, he must be saying
You.
keep
You
going.
serve.
You will serve, right?
You will serve.
So this says ki ta'avod et ha'adama.
The ground, the earth.
Yeah, you will serve the earth, and it's really saying if. Like normally to say if, you say aleph mem im. Im ta'avod et ha'adama. If you serve the ground, lo tosef latet kocha. But this is saying, he's saying, you will serve it, and it will lo tosef. Now, what famous biblical character does tosef sound like?
Joseph.
Sounds like someone's...
Joseph.
Yes. Joseph was called Joseph because God gave Rachel a son. And she said, oh, God has recognized my suffering and my embarrassment for not having children. Perhaps now he will now add another son. So Joseph can mean to add. But it also is foreshadowing, because one of the famous things that Joseph did was he gathered up all the grain in Egypt and he piled it up. So Tosef can also mean to gather, right? There's also an extra prayer on Saturday and on holidays. On Shabbat and Yom Tov, we have an extra prayer, and it's called Musaf, because it's additional prayer. So Yosef is to do with adding, additional, gathering, again to do something. And in this case, it's the meaning is again or to add something. But it says Lo Tosef. In the first case, ta'avod means you will serve. Here, Tosef is the she. Who's the she in this scenario? There's no woman in this scenario, but there is a female something that can do a verb. I'll read it to you, see if it jumps out to you. Ki ta'avod et ha'adama lo tosef lated koha. Do you remember who it was that opened her mouth a minute ago to accept the blood of your brother?
The
Yes, yes.
The ground.
Yes. The earth, Aretz and Adamah, these are female nouns. We don't have this in English, but we have it in French and German and Spanish and all these things as gendered nouns. And the ground is a gendered noun. So when the ground does a verb like tosef, to add, then it's feminized. Tosef. So ki ta'avod et ha'adama, because you will serve the ground, lo tosef, she will not add letate. It doesn't say lametate, but it says tate. And that is, it's hard to see, but it's natan. But both nuns from the word natan have gone missing. Why would a nun go missing from a verb like that? What's special about the letter nun that means it can go missing? Do you remember why the letter nun has gone missing before? What kind of letter is it? It's a weak letter.
Nun is a weak letter.
Nun is a weak letter. Nun and hey. Normally nun goes missing off the beginning and hey goes missing off the end. In this case, a nun has gone missing off the beginning and the end. And all we're left with from the original verb is the taf. So tate means she will give. Right? But here it says, lo tosef tate. She will not add and give. Kocha. Now this is a new word for you. But if you were in synagogue on Shabbat, Mondays or Thursdays, someone will get an aliyah. If you're in an Ashkenazi synagogue, that is the people who spent their diaspora in Europe, as opposed to in Christian countries rather than Arab countries, they'll say Yasha Koyach, which means more power to you, and Koach is power, strength. So it's like saying you should be strengthened because you went to the Torah, you should be blessed with strength. But Kocha is the same word, but feminine possessive. Koach is the male for strength, and Kocha is her strength. So in this case, the sentence says, Lo tosef tate kocha. She will not add to give her strength lach. What's lach?
Yours.
Good. The lamed means two or four. The chaf is you. So to you or yours, absolutely. So she will not give her strength to Kain anymore. So, Adam planted thistles and thorns, but he harvested grasses and he made bread. So even though if he planted something rubbish, he'd draw out something better. It won't work for for Kain anymore. Now he can't do that. Instead, it says nav and nad, and these are two different words which are very closely related to being a nomad. Okay.
Oh.
So
Which
it
one is
is.
the word now? Which one is the word nomad?
They are both different kind of words related to nomadery,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
So one of them is a nomad, and the other one is to go. So nad is a nomad, and na is to go. In fact, do you remember that? Remember we have the schwa. Let me find you a schwa. This schwa on this hay here. And we actually have two kinds of schwa. We have a schwa nach, like Noach, to rest, a resting schwa, which makes no sound at all, and a schwa na, which is a going schwa that makes a little noise, right? So, navanad means go, and a nomad tiyeh, a nomad you will be, ba'aretz.
Ah.
So Kain is the first nomad. Kain is the first wanderer. Because before that, Adam and Chava, Cain and Hevel, were all living nearby to Gan Eden. They came out of Gan Eden, they settled down, they started farming immediately. And now Cain has been told, you can't do that anymore. Off you go. You've got to wander. So you probably have to hunt, you probably have to eat meat. That's your life now. Whereas before, he was a farmer just like his dad. It was Hevel that was keeping livestock. It was Cain that was growing arable. He was growing plant crops, and he can't do that anymore. His main livelihood is so that's tough. It's not as bad as murder. It's not 25 to life. You know, it's a reasonably light sentence for fratricide, for the murder of one's brother. But how is Cain gonna react? Cain, who, when he brought a sacrifice and it wasn't accepted by God, he got angry. And then when God explained why it wasn't accepted, he went and murdered his brother. And when he murdered his brother and God asked about it, he said, what am I? I don't know where he is. What am I, my brother's keeper? And God said, I know what you did. And when he said, I know what you did, and now you've got to wonder, what's Cain's reaction going to be? It says, Vayomer Cain el Adonai. What does it mean?
Cain said to Adonai.
Perfect. Gedol avoni minsa. We're going to start at the end, we're going to work our way back to the beginning. Okay? The way to remember what this verb is you notice how the verb is nun sin aleph, which should be pronounced nasa, right? We've got an extra mem added on to say from this verb, right? To say, you know, it's like saying whatever this verb is, it's from doing it. What does NASA do? What's the job of NASA in America?
NASA.
Yeah, what do they do all day long?
Aeroplane.
Well, not just aeroplanes, but space administration.
Space.
Yeah. So what do? They are the world's best paid schleppers. What they do is they schlep stuff up into the sky all day long. They're lifting stuff up into space. That's what they're doing. And the verb nasa in Hebrew means to lift or to bear or to carry. Okay. So the way to remember it is picture NASA lifting stuff into the sky. That's what nasa does, is lift up or bear, right?
Okay.
This is a voni. It's a very unusual case. You know, I told you how you only ever pronounce the vav if there's a vowel under it. Do you remember I said that? So if it's got a dot over it, you normally say o. Or if it's got a dot underneath the hook, you say u. This rare case, you say vo. This is an exception to the rule. And it's only when the dot is offset. If the dot's directly above the vav, you should say oh. I didn't tell you about this before. This is new information for you. And the reason I didn't tell you is because it's upsetting. It breaks the pattern. Okay, so I need you to get used to vav first, and then go, okay, this is a rare exception. Okay. So because it's off to the left slightly, you say vo. Avoni, right? And this ayin vav nun means suffering or poverty, particularly associated with consequences, but not exclusively. It's the idea of someone being a poor person. They could be an oni. It's also associated with the affliction, like the day of affliction. The Yom Kippur is a Yom Oni, is a day of suffering, right?
Oh, suffering, yeah.
And the word before, what does gadol mean?
Gadol. Like the actress, is it?
Like who?
Like that, what's her name? That actress, that pretty one, the Israeli girl.
The
Gal
Israeli.
Gadot.
Ah,
No, that's Gal Gadot.
her name is Gadot, and Gadot means banks. Sorry,
Huh? What bank? What bank?
bank, like a monetary bank. You know, it's
Oh,
a
bank. Ah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not river bank. I
No,
see. I'm
no,
I
that's right.
see.
That's good thinking. It could have been riverbank, but that would be safa. We say
Oh,
the lip of a river is the riverbank.
oh, okay, okay.
So we
Ah,
say Ya'ar Safa, or the
oh,
lip of the ocean is the beach.
oh,
So we say
oh,
Sfat Yam, the lip of the sea is the beach.
oh,
But
okay.
no,
So what is the bank doing here then?
it's not here. That's not Gadot. That's Gadol with a lamed on the
Oh,
end. Completely different word.
oh,
So Gadol means great or big. The
oh,
Cohen is the priest. The Cohen Gadol is the
yeah.
great priest.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
The Talit
A Kohen
Katan,
Gadol. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. High
yeah.
priest. Oh,
The Talit Katan is the little prayer shawl we wear under our shirts. The
uh-huh.
Talit Gadol is the big prayer shawl we wear over everything when we're praying.
Oh,
So Gadol is big. So Kain is saying to
uh,
God, too big my suffering to
ah,
lift. He's saying it's too much for me to bear. I can't possibly lift this suffering. So now, faced with his own guilt for murder, being told you have to leave and you can't be a farmer anymore, he says, "Oh no, it's too much. It's too much suffering for me to bear."
uh-huh.
He's still not taking any responsibilities for what he's done
Mm,
wrong. He's not
mm,
recognizing that he has a hand in this.
ah,
And he goes on to say, Hain, and Hain,
behold.
behold, absolutely. Behold, gerashta, gerashta. This is a very sad word. It can mean to drive one out, to drive someone out. It can
Mm.
also mean to divorce.
Oh, we studied this. Ah, the divorce one.
Yeah. So it
Ah,
says, this is what God did with Adam
like
and,
the
and Chava. He drove them out
uh-huh.
from the Gan Eden.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
now he's saying, Hein gerashta oti. Now, first we have behold, Hein, Hein, behold. Then we have gerashta. So gerash is to divorce or to drive out. What
Mm.
does ta on the end mean? It tells you who did the verb.
Ah,
If I said gerashti, gerashti means I did it in the past, right?
uh-huh.
So what's
Uh-huh.
gerashta?
Oh, you male.
Right. So, Hain, behold, gerashta, you have divorced OT. What does OT mean? This is a passive pronoun.
My.
Yes, me.
Ah,
You have divorced me, I'm passive. If I divorced you, it would be ani gerashti otach. But he's saying to
uh,
God, ata gerashta oti. You have divorced me. I was passive.
ah.
You've driven me out. And I am being driven
Oh,
out passively. So by saying oti instead of ani, it's showing that God is the one doing it and he's the one being done to.
uh-huh.
Now stay with me. We'll walk through a little bit further because we're still in the same sentence. Hein
Ah,
gerashti oti. Behold, you have divorced me. Hayom.
the day.
Yes, and that's a way of saying today. Today you have driven me away. Today you have divorced me. Me'al panei ha'adama. Me'al. What's me'al?
L with something.
It's
From
not-
something, from
Good, from something. Al is the same root as aliyah, to ascend. But it's a preposition that comes from the verb to ascend.
from going.
Not from a verb, but from a preposition. So a preposition is in, beside, under, on.
Oh.
So what does me'al mean? From you have driven me away today.
From.
Me'al from on. From on Penei Ha'adama. What's you do?
Is it?
Yeah, what's Penei Ha'adama?
A face.
Good,
Of
I
the
knew, see, didn't I know you knew it? I knew you knew it. You see, you gotta trust me. Okay, exactly right. From on the face of the ground. Me'al Penei Ha'adama.
Okay.
And what's even worse is mi panecha. Mi panecha.
And from
Yes, and from
And-
panecha.
your face.
Yes. He's really heartbroken. Listen, I did a murder, but you're sending me away. You're banning me from you. You're banning me from the face of the ground. You're banning me from your face. And then he says this verb here. This is a very interesting verb. The verb is sater. But by putting an aleph at the beginning and making it esater, not only does it make it tell you who's doing the verb, but it also makes it like a very important biblical character. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So who's doing the verb and when if it has an aleph at the beginning?
I.
Good. Is it I will do, I am doing, I have done? Being in mind that the letter is before the verb. The letter is at the beginning of the verb, so it tells you which.
Not past tense.
It's not past tense. It would. So you remember v'yomer is only past tense because of the tense flipping vav.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have a tense flipping vav, so it stays in the future. So if the letter that tells you who does it is at the beginning of the verb, it's future tense. If the letter that tells you who does the verb is at the end, it's past tense. So this is a future tense. I will do. Now, have you ever heard of Esther? This is where her name comes from. Her name is Esater, Esther.
Oh.
Now, what did she have to do about her identity in order to marry King? Ashkeverosh. Ashkeverosh. I've never managed his name.
What did she have to do with it?
Yeah, how could she marry him? She had to do something about her identity.
She lied.
Yes, she hid her identity. She pretended not to be a Jew so that she could marry the king and persuade him not to kill the Jews.
Yes.
So Esater means I will be hidden.
Oh.
So her name, Esther, means I will be hidden. It's actually my sister-in-law's name, which in Hebrew makes her my Gisa. A Gis is a brother-in-law, Gisa is a sister-in-law.
Oh.
So Esater means I will be hidden, and he's saying this in the literal sense. Today you have divorced me, sent me away, Hayom, today. Me'al panei ha'adama, from on the face of the earth, umi panecha, and from your face, Esater, I will be hidden. Vahayiti navanad. You remember navanad from the previous verse?
No, yes.
Yes. Nad sounds like
Oh, the nomad, is it?
Good, 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 good. But first we need to tackle this. Because what's happening here? What's the root of this verb here? Vahayiti. What's the root?
Haya.
Good, good. So we have haya. Haya, hover, yeh. Haya means was. Hover means is. Yeh means will be. This is haya. Is it past, present, or future?
Was the past tense.
Good, good. What happens if I put T on the end of past tense verb? Tells you who did it.
Me, I'm doing it.
Yes. And because the verb is to be, it's was, hayiti means
I was.
good. Good, 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 good. But, if we
There's
have,
a but.
yes. And if you're flipping from a future tense, like yomer, he will say, to a past tense, v'yomer, the vav needs a patach, the tongue depressor vowel, which looks like a tongue depressor in the doctor's office and makes you go, ah. But if it's a past tense verb being flipped into the future, you need a schwa, which is the sideways binoculars. What vowel has this vav got?
What vowel, huh?
What vowel?
Silent.
Yeah, this has the sideways binoculars. It has the schwa, the silent vowel, right? So vahayiti means not I was.
Again, I will be.
I will be. Beautiful. Very, very good. So,
That's really confusing.
oh, you're doing great. You're taking a confusing system and you're winning at it. And we'll keep on hammering home until it feels really comfortable. So a past the future needs a schwa.
Sorry, but
Go on.
but why can't it be like what you said, the haya, hove, yi, ye? Why can't it just be the yi, ye thing?
Ah, you mean why use past flipped? Why not
Yeah,
always
yeah.
use? It's another option. We have options. Like you could say English, for example, has a huge vocabulary. The reason it has such a huge vocabulary is because it draws roots from Greek and Latin and Saxon and Germanic, and also Celtic and all kinds of places. So someone learning the language is like, oh, this is too much vocabulary. Why should I have to learn all this vocabulary? Why can't we just simplify the language and have fewer words? Well, you can do that. You can have a smaller vocabulary, but you won't understand what everyone else is talking about. You don't want to take away the advantages of a language and the clever little quirks. You just want to learn them and then you can use them too.
Okay.
But I do have good news for you.
Okay.
Modern Hebrew doesn't use tense flippers.
Oh.
So understanding the tense flippers will help you read Torah. But when you in the future, when you want to learn modern Hebrew and you want to come to Israel and have a really, really good shawarma or a sabich, or the best hummus you've ever had, you don't have to worry about tense flippers. They're not used in modern Hebrew. Because other people also say
You're
that.
still supposed to know, right? Even if there's no tense flipper, you're still supposed to know whether it was past tense or present tense.
But that's easy. That's easy.
Oh.
Because you can just use haya, hover, yeh.
Oh.
Okay? So you're going to conjugate more. Modern Hebrew conjugates more like a European language than ancient Hebrew.
Okay.
Because the
ancient,
genius.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I will be hidden, esater, v'hayiti, and I will be na, v'nad ba'aretz.
Na, not vana, na.
Na v'nad, just like the previous verse.
Na vana. Oh, I see. Oh, right.
Yeah, na v'nad ba'aretz. So I will be a
nomad.
And I will go in the land. Absolutely. Now, I want you to explain this one. What is the verb?
Wow. Ha-ya.
Good. What does it mean?
Was.
Good. What vowel does this vav have?
Schwa.
Good. So this vav is a
tense flipper.
Good. So haya becomes
Is or will be.
will be. Good. Ignore the present
Why
tense.
not is? Why not
Oh,
is?
because imagine was is will be. When I flip them, the middle one stays in the same place.
Oh.
So you can flip the future into the past and the past into the future, but you can't flip the present tense because it doesn't have an opposite. The opposite of the
So
past
there
is
will
the
never
future.
be a present tense. It will never be.
You can't flip
I
a
don't
present
want
tense.
will be.
Present tense stays in the present always.
Oh, okay. So will be.
So v'haya, it will be kol motzi yahargeni. Now, what does kol mean?
All.
It will be that all who motzi, now motzi, matzah, men, tzadi, aleph means to find. That's the verb to find.
Oh.
So if you have the verb to find with a yod on the end, that refers to who?
He.
Well, not he.
No.
It's a he if it's before. Yamtse would be he will find. But this is about who's getting found. Which pronoun has a yod on the end?
Yod.
Think about who is Kain obsessed with.
He's obsessed with who?
Yeah, he's obsessed with himself.
Oh.
He's only ever talking about himself. He doesn't talk about his brother, he doesn't talk about his God, he doesn't talk about his parents. He's only ever talking about himself, Kain. He's a jealous man, right? So motzi means find me, like ani. It's the yod from ani. So he says, it will be that all who find me, yehargeni. Now notice at the end of yehargeni it says ani, which sounds like ani again. Yeah?
Something about me.
Yes. Anyone who finds me, he will harag ani. He will harag me.
Kill me.
Yes. Very, very good. So, God says, what did you do? The blood of your brother screams to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground that opened her mouth to take the blood of your brother from your hand. And thus you will work the ground, and she will not again give her strength to you. Go, and you will be a nomad in the land. And Kain said to God, too great is my suffering to bear. Thus you have divorced me, you have sent me away today from on the face of the earth, and from your face I will be hidden. And I will be a nomad, and I will go in the land, and it will be that all who find me will murder me. The only time he cares about murder being wrong is when it relates to him. He has not said sorry. He has not acknowledged that he murdered his brother. He has shown no remorse. He's only scared about his own. This is the root. This is the root of the problem. If you cannot even care about your own brother being murdered at your own hand, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So as we go forward, we're going to see this character come back again and again and again. We're going to see the earth becoming more and more corrupted to the point that God can't let it continue any longer, and he takes action. And that will be the story of Noah and the flood.
So what happened to Kain in the end? He died?
Well, we haven't finished the story yet, but we're very close to the end of our session. So
Okay, right.
When Kain says, anyone who finds me will kill me, right? God says, V'yomer lo. What does V'yomer lo mean?
Said low. No.
No. How do you spell lo, which means no?
Lamed. Oh.
We don't have an O in Hebrew. What do we use? Lamed Aleph is no. But lamed vav is a prefix and a suffix. What does the prefix lamed mean?
To or from.
Good. To or for, not to or from. To or for,
To or
yes.
for.
What does the vav with a little yamokron mean?
A male.
Yes. So, v'yomelo means God said,
To
to vav with a little yamokron.
to you as a male.
Not you. That would be lecha. This is the third person masculine.
Third person.
It's not the me, the you, it's the third person.
Oh, not the who and he, no, not
He.
that.
It's the he. The
Oh, it's a he.
yomelo means he said to him.
To him.
Yeah, to him with a little hat on. Right?
Okay.
So v'yomelo Adonai, who's doing the verb?
Adonai.
Yes, because we normally have the verb first and then who's doing it. And in this case, they've extended v'yomer not to be just v'yomer, but v'yomelo. The whole thing is the verb. He said to him, did God.
Oh.
L'kain. L'kain means it's like therefore.
Oh, okay.
Normally we say al-kain means therefore, but l'kain is very similar. It means the same thing basically. So he says, anyone who finds me will kill me. So God says, therefore. Oh, are we missing a verse?
Yeah, is it? I think so.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I've got a missing thing in between.
Yeah.
Let me just grab it very quickly. Pop it in.
A few things are missing.
Okay. Well, I'll get it in less than 20 seconds. Here we go.
Okay. It's okay, we can do it in the next lesson. Because a few to hide. Is it
you
we haven't done it?
To hide? No, we had esoter.
Oh, we had. Oh, we already did that, huh?
Yeah. It's just one verse that I'm missing somehow. I've accidentally deleted it.
Right.
Oh dear, sorry, this is very clumsy. Okay, so we're going to come in on this. It's chapter 4, verse. Yes, it's this one here. Hein gerashti oti. I haven't missed a verse. It's here.
4.
Yeah. No, this is the right verse. It's not missing.
Oh, it's.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. 4:15. I see.
V'yomer and he said to him, Lekain, thus, Kal harog Kain. What does Kal mean?
Voice.
No, not Kal with a kuf, but Kal with a chaf, with a kaf. This one here. You've seen this one?
Carl.
Yeah, means?
I don't know.
All. Yes, good.
Huh?
So you translated it for me earlier today. Kal horeg. You know this one. Harag, you already translated this one for me as well.
Oh.
Harag was what Kain did to Hevel.
Kill or
yes.
murder.
All who murder Kain, Shivatayim Yukam, sevenfold it will be on him. It will be raised on him. Kumbaya. If it was a Hebrew sentence, it would mean rise with God. Kum is to rise or to establish. So God is going to protect him. We're going to come in next week. We're going to start with this verse here, where God is protecting him, and then the explanation about how God is going to protect him.
Okay, wonderful.
Good. You're doing great. Can you feel that the pace is increasing, the clarity is increasing? Yeah, you feeling confident?
Yeah, it's increasing.
Great. You're doing brilliantly. Well done. Same usual time next week?
Yeah. Next week, Monday, usual time. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be greatly blessed with wisdom, success, closeness to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, lots of family time, nice biscuits, and several good jokes, both into your ears and out of your mouth.
Okay. God willing. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.